All right, welcome to today's episode. I've got Hamid Hashemi, and so he's the CEO of iPic movie theaters. And you're going public, what, next week? Next
Yes,
month?
February 1st.
February 1st. So I got to ask you this, like, we're here in Hollywood, Los Angeles, home of, is there money still in movie theaters, or did Netflix, like, kill the whole game?
No. I mean, actually, you know what? Netflix is something you can watch at home.
Right.
But it's literally no different than a restaurant. Think about it. You have a kitchen in your house, you still go out to a restaurant, right?
Right.
Movies are the same thing. Just because you can watch it at home doesn't stop you from going out to the theater.
Okay.
But you go out because you're out for a good night out, right? You're going out for an experience. And if we do our job right and we give you a really great experience,
Yeah.
you're going to come out.
Whose idea was it to go high end? Was that your idea?
It was myself, my wife, collectively in the company. I mean,
Okay.
This is really the first of this type of theaters we opened in 1999.
Oh,
It was
really?
Yes, and it was really an experiment, trying to figure out, are people willing to pay a little bit more for a better experience? And
Yeah.
it proved to be absolutely the right thing to do. Because, at the end of the day, we didn't invent anything.
Yeah.
We took the two most common forms of entertainment that you've been doing all along and brought them together under one roof,
Okay.
give you a great experience.
So
And
what's that, movie and food?
Yes, exactly.
And alcohol.
And alcohol, right.
The three most favorite, Zach's favorite thing.
78% of people eat before or after the movies, historically. You
Okay.
always go, most of the time you're going to dinner before or after the movies. So why not bring it together? And by doing that, we're giving back that 30 minutes of time that you used to drive from one destination to the other one.
Right.
And time is a commodity, none of us have enough of it.
Right.
If I can give you back 30 minutes of your time and give you two great experiences under one roof,
Yeah.
it's a winning formula.
So what's the plan? You go public. How much money are you trying to raise?
Well, this is under Reg A, you're limited to 50. So right now we
Okay.
filed for 40.
Oh, so you're doing okay.
Yeah, we're doing a Reg A, right.
So 40 million bucks.
And then we have credit facility that on top of that, the existing credit facility that allows us to continue our expansion.
Do you think, for people listening, because exiting a business can be done somewhat by going public because it gives the owners liquidity if somebody's listening, owns a company. Do you think, well, one of my business mentors a long time ago, he's like, man, Ty, I went public. It's the biggest pain in the butt. I brought my company private again. You see that, like Playboy, Hugh Hefner made, at one point, I think it was in the 90s, Playboy went public, and then he brought that thing private because all of a sudden you have all these regulatory accounting rules. You have people looking over your shoulder. Do you think it's going to be worth it to get the 40, 50 million bucks?
We hope so. I mean,
You hope so. You wouldn't be doing it, I guess.
Right. I mean, one thing, we're not going public to cash out. I mean, nobody in the company,
Right.
Original founders and, people that, provide the capital
Yeah.
to get the company to this point, nobody's taking money off the table. I mean, we're
Yeah.
not looking at the vehicle to cash out.
Yeah.
It's all growth capital. It's all going to stay in the company and used to.
More theaters? Is that the
More
goal?
theater, yeah, absolutely.
So what's the goal? More theaters, more states, or is it going to still be in California?
No, we're right now in 10 different states. I mean, we're
Okay.
in Texas, we're in Illinois, in New York, New Jersey, Florida.
Where's
So-
the sweet spot, you think? What's the best state in
best
terms of
state?
potential? Costs versus revenue.
I think Texas is great.
Texas is good?
California costs are higher. I mean, labor costs are
Yeah,
greater. and-
California's
yeah,
laws on
right.
employees aren't.
Right.
Yeah, Texas is like the Wild West, plus people eat a lot of food there. They're a little bit bigger
Right.
now, and everything's bigger in Texas, including people's bellies. So you need like an all-you-can-eat barbecue
In
in Texas. What about overseas? You think there's a market in Europe? Or too
There's a market all
complicated?
around the country. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't have any specific plans today,
Okay.
but it's certainly not something that we're not looking at.
Yeah.
The reason people stop going to the movies because the experience wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Because you still love the movies. If you're not going to watch it on the big screen, you're going to watch it at home, right?
Yeah.
It's not that you stopped watching movies. It's that you didn't like the experience that you were having in a traditional theater. That's why you stopped going to it.
Yeah.
So if we can give you all the comfort and convenience that you have at home, you've
Yeah.
been to our theaters, there's big comfortable seats, pillows and blankets, service
got,
comes
like,
to you. Right.
Electronic seats, and you can fall. Rick, you'd be asleep in 15 minutes.
I am one
Do
myself.
you fall asleep in your own movies? How big is iPic? How many theaters do you guys have?
We have 16 locations, 121 screens,
And you guys kind of have like the concierge, like food. I've been to the one. There's one. There's one in by UCLA that
right,
has
Westwood,
like.
right?
So what kind of can you generate decent revenue from 16?
Yes, we
Enough
did.
to go public?
Yes, we do.
So are your numbers public yet?
Yes, actually, you can go online and you can see the offering memorandum,
Okay.
what the theaters do. Right.
But you're making more than $10 a day.
A little more than that, yes.
How much does it cost roughly to get up? Because of like $3 million a theater.
Try 11 to 12.
Woo! So wait, so up front you got to put in?
Yes, it costs us about 11 to 12.
So you can't leverage it. You can't get the.
No, you can.
You can
I mean,
leverage
you can
out
leverage
the
it.
40 or 50 million. Do you buy? You don't buy the real estate, do you?
No, we lease.
You lease.
Yeah, we're tenant in typically we're tenant in projects.
Yeah.
And,
So it's just the retrofit. That's 11 million bucks because you got to get. How much are the projectors? I feel like they're expensive.
that's the cheapest part of it, frankly.
Really?
Yeah, I mean the
Okay,
projectors
so much for
are.
my business sense. I thought that would be the expensive.
Believe it or not, those seats that you sit in our theaters are the most
Ah.
expensive part of it.
Really? How much
Yeah.
does a seat cost?
You know,
More
we're
than
public.
$5,000?
About that much.
Woo!
Close. Yes.
So
No.
$5,000 for a seat. Then you've got projectors are not that. Projectors are they got to be like 50 grand for a good
Yeah,
projector.
I mean that's not. Yes,
But
it
you
is.
only need one, and you got like
right,
7.
exactly,
How
and they
many
last a long time. 8 auditoriums, we typically six
Eight
to
auditoriums.
8, right?
How about the bar? You got to get the liquor
It's
license.
everything. It's
Yeah.
liquor license, building a bar, building a facility, and if you've seen our projects, I mean there's a lot of cool artwork inside of them.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when you go to New York, we have a speakeasy inside of it.
Where's the one in New York? I
It's
haven't
not-
been to it.
It's in South Street Seaport.
Okay.
Fulton Marketplace.
Okay.
Remember the old fish market?
Yeah.
It's that building. We converted it
Does it
into
still
into
smell
theater.
like fish? in
No,
the
it
theater?
doesn't.
Okay.
No.
I was gonna say that's
Smells like
not a
good
good
wine.
smell to be watching.
No.
Let's watch movies in the smell of fish at the regular theaters.
Right.
Whether it's like the Grove or like, here in LA. It seems like there's less people going, but you're making up for that. Is that true, or is that just my imagination? Does extra ticket sales, having food, having drinks, does it make up for the loss of people?
Absolutely does. And frankly, I have to tell you, we do. Our theaters are typically 450 to 500 seats.
Yeah.
We measure, like any other business, there's a measure of, success of it, which is occupancy, right?
Yes.
In real estate, you talk about occupancy rate.
Yeah.
For us, is frankly, number of, people in the seats. It's the occupancy rate that really matters.
Yeah.
When you look at it nationally, occupancy rate is only 12%. Because,
Really?
Yes, very low. Because
So the
Monday through
average movie
Thursday,
theater is 12%?
average around the country, yes. So when you look at the top tier theater, top 100 theaters in the country, you're only looking at about 18 to 20.
Okay.
We run north of 30. Because
Huh.
people are going to the movies a lot more. I
I
mean,
mean,
we've
almost double.
yes, and we've
more than
proven
double,
over
yeah.
and over that we brought people that had stopped going to the movies.
I
Sadly,
find
guess.
and I've noticed there's another chain down in San Diego, Del Mar. It's like Sinopolis.
Right.
Aren't they out of Mexico or something
Yes,
like that?
right.
Are they a competitor? Do you consider them?
Yes, in a
Yeah.
lot of ways, but in
They're not
other
in
ways.
LA. They're not here.
No, they're not in LA.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
they
is
are in Southern
bizarre.
California.
Why would they go only in They have like 2 in San Diego
Right.
and none in LA.
Right.
I don't know
But
if that's a
again, the difference
strategic-
is, you've been to their theater. Have you been to
Yeah,
their theater?
yeah.
So when you go to their theaters, you're still going to see a movie. You
Yes.
walk in there, you see popcorn, popcorn machines, and you're there to watch a movie, and you dine when you come out. With us, is really you're going to spend 4.5 hours. Our
Yeah.
average stay for our guests is 4.5 hours.
Yeah, because you have a bar and a restaurant.
you bar,
You have
restaurant.
a restaurant, right?
Yeah,
I've never gone
absolutely.
to the restaurant, but I see the bar there.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have 3 restaurant brands one in each location that we operate. And literally those restaurants even operate independent of the theater. Behind the scenes they're connected,
Yeah.
but it really makes it a destination. Again, our goal was to get you there and get you there to stay as long as possible. How many times did you go to the movies and you come out and you want to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Before you used to, just go somewhere else. You go into another bar. Now here you have a place that you just come out and it's very relaxed. It's a very different destination.
All right, I'm gonna show you my little non-iPic movie theater. This place has a decent size. We've got about, how many seats do you have on average?
We do anywhere from 40 to 80 seats in an auditorium.
Times 8.
Times 8, right.
Okay.
So we
you
average,
have
we total of like 450 seats in the whole
500,
complex.
yeah, and I have 12, so I got a long way to go here.
This is a great room. This is a great
It's
screen
good
room.
though. It's
Yeah,
fun to watch
awesome.
sports. You got a
Let's
little theater. I don't know what size this is. What size is the average theater?
About 30 feet.
30 feet.
Right.
Damn. This is only like 7 feet or something like that.
Right.
So let me ask you the economics of being in the movie business in terms of you and the studios.
Right.
If I buy by the way, you have a business model. You're charging $29 a month, right? Or a year.
A year, right.
And you have how many? You have a million?
1.8 million members.
Woo!
Not all are paid members, but
Right.
good part of
So
them
it's
there.
good. You've got regular.
Right.
You can forecast that revenue over time.
Right.
So you go, I buy my ticket, I watch whatever, Justice League. What's that new movie we saw? Water something? Shape of Water.
Right.
So let's say I paid $20 for a ticket. How much goes to MGM or Warner Brothers, and how much do you guys keep, roughly?
Roughly about 55% of that goes to the studios.
Okay.
And we
So
keep
you
45.
collect the money, you have to literally send them money?
Yes, all the time, yes.
So you wire it weekly?
We do, no, it's usually like 3 weeks or,
Every 3 weeks
30,
or so?
yeah, it's about 30 days, call it, 30, 45
How
days.
do they, aren't they ever worried you're going to cheat? And be like, oh, only 4 people came. Here's a check for $30.
Well, believe it or not, they send checkers in.
Really?
Blind checker. Oh, yeah, all the time, yes. But it's all
But how would they
monitored and
know
controlled.
that that gets tallied? Because it's just like one
Because,
person.
when you buy your ticket, all those tickets are numbered.
Oh, okay.
So, and they all have starting number, ending number.
you're
They match the night before to the next night. So, it's
you're
a very
saying-
delicate.
So they send you an invoice with all the ticket
Oh yeah,
numbers.
we send it to them. We have to
Right.
report to them every night. At
Yes.
the end of the night, our computer communicates with them directly, and sends our box office report. It shows how many
Yes.
tickets were bought at 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So it's a full report that goes to the studios on a
So
nightly basis.
55% goes to them.
Yes.
You keep 45. What about you keep all the snacks and food, right?
Yes.
So that's why food
We don't
is
do it,
important.
we'll be in trouble.
But that's why you, like these theaters that
Right.
are only having pop. I go to sometimes a theater and I'm hungry.
Right.
This is how, one thing I've learned in business, anyone watching, listening, business is not about Harvard MBAs. Even though if you have a Harvard MBA, that's fine. I used to think business was complex. Most of it's common sense. And so I go into a theater, I'm hungry. I'm like, I'll buy lots of stuff. And they're like, here's popcorn. I'm like, do you have more? And they're like, no. So it makes so much sense to just
Right.
be like, here you go.
Right.
Or alcohol, although do you need bouncers because people drink too much?
No, thank God. I mean, we haven't had any.
You haven't had any incidents?
No.
So you
knock
tell
on
the
wood.
bartenders, cut them off
Right.
quick?
We don't, but you know what? I think the difference is that if you're paying $25 or $28 for a ticket price,
Yes.
I mean, you value your experience.
Yes.
You get a different kind of crowd,
Right.
frankly, and you're watching a movie with like-minded people.
Yeah.
That's why when you go to our theaters, it's just nobody's texting, nobody's talking. You don't have
Yeah.
teenagers running around because it's out of their budget, frankly.
Yeah.
Those prices. So you really end up with a great crowd of people that you're watching a movie. So
Yeah.
we don't really run into those kind of problems.
What
fortunately.
about, okay, so economics, you keep 45%. You said, what determines a movie staying in your theater? Because sometimes I see a movie come into a theater and they're bombs and they are gone in a week. Is that because you guys are like, we ain't making
We're
any
done.
money?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
But who determines that? You?
We actually, along with the studios, believe it or not,
Okay.
every Monday,
Okay.
you set the pictures for Friday.
Okay.
There's a negotiation that goes on between the studios and
So
the
do they try to
exhibitors.
push movies on
Yeah,
you?
absolutely. They want you to keep the picture, even if it's not making money, because
Right. The more that it sells.
the more that stays, because they don't have the cost of carrying the movie,
Yeah.
running the auditorium. So the longer it stays there, the more money they're going to make.
So do
and
you
for
get
us,
an
it's-
argument sometimes?
Sure. It's a love-hate relationship. We love our
So
distributors.
you don't
we deal
want to
with
push
it.
on them too hard because then they
Right.
won't give you movies or something. Well, can you get blackballed like that? Where
Sure.
they're like, okay, really?
Yes.
So sometimes you have to just let a crappy movie sit in your auditorium because you're like, now I can call in a favor in the future. It's all negotiation.
It is all negotiation. And you know what? You have 6 studios, well, soon to be 5.
Yeah.
Disney buys Fox. You have 5 major studios that produce 90% of the box office or more, and they distribute the pictures themselves. It's
Yes.
not like I can go buy the picture from somebody else.
Yeah.
So, there's a relationship. And, frankly, I've been in it over 30 years. We're all friends. This is really a small business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
and
Hollywood's
it's
not
all
as big as
relationship.
people think.
No, it's really a.
Do you, as we kind of wrap up here, do you think that,
I'm getting for you guys.
yeah, do you think that you will ever make movies?
Oh, me, no. That's the riskiest part of the business.
So iPic's not going to come out with its own line. Like Amazon, Netflix, everybody's coming out with their own line.
Right.
You don't think that's for you?
No, I mean, you know what? It's always best to do what you know.
Yeah.
Don't try to venture into something that you don't. And frankly, I've seen enough movies and I've shown enough movies to know how risky it is. I mean, it really
Yeah.
is. In studios' defense, it's a very risky business.
Yes.
There's only one Star Wars every few years. At the same time, you've seen so many movies that really shouldn't even be made. It wasn't that,
Yes,
you know,
a lot of movies. I feel
Right.
like they're doing work. What's the movie that you thought was going to kill it that bombed?
Oh God, there's so many. I don't want to name them. It's just like,
Okay, what's a movie? We'll go back to this. What's a movie you loved? Can't get in trouble for saying a movie you loved.
no, I mean,
That
the
people
movie.
should see that not many people have seen.
Oh, that's a tough one. Movie that people should see that. You know, my taste is very common. I'm not I don't have a sophisticated taste when it comes to movies. So, I mean, I like the action movies, the comedies. I mean, I'm like what we call popcorn movies. I like movies that
So
are
what's the best popcorn movie?
the best, you know, obviously Star Wars, you know,
You like
the
Star Wars?
latest one.
Frank,
Yeah.
what's the best movie? Frank's running the camera.
Last year, Wind
No,
River.
Wind River, yes.
Wind River.
It didn't get no noms this year.
It got completely snubbed.
Right.
What's a good? I saw a movie at iPic. You guys got to remind me what it was. I saw it right here at your theater. It was based on a book. It was Woody Harrelson. Glass Castle.
Right. Great movie.
Trust, underrated movie. Glass Castle was a
Right.
powerful movie.
Okay.
Well, good. Where can people go to find out more about either as an investor, if they want to get in on the, it's a Reg A, right?
Yes.
Reg A, or they just want to go to a theater. What's the best spot?
Best is go to ipic.com,
ipic.com.
right? And there's a link if they were interested in investing. It says invest,
Okay.
and the offering circular is there, and that leads them into to the investment banking site, which is bank.co.
Okay.
They can go there and
All
express
my
their
followers still get 1,000 free tickets if you redeem the code. No, I'm just joking. There's no free
No.
tickets. But thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great.
Yeah,
So
that was good.
It's really an honor to meet you. It was
No,
great.
honor's all mine.